right. I
Are
think
we
we're
on?
live.
Are we live?
I think we are.
Oh my
Let me
goodness. Let me double
just
check.
make sure. Let's see if everybody says hi to us. How's everybody doing? I don't even know why I say it when we start up. I'm like, okay, it's been crazy the last few minutes leading up to the stream, but we're here and I am glad to be here. Wow, do we have so much
We're
to
on.
talk about? I know. Yep,
Okay.
I see it.
Well, I had to verify it on my screen.
We have so very much to talk about tonight, folks. Welcome to Tank Talk Live. We do this every single Thursday. If this is your first time joining us, Lisa Marie and I, we talk all things fish keeping, and then at the very end, we might talk about a couple things that are not fish keeping related. But
Pretty sure we throw things in there that are not fish keeping related throughout the stream.
it's usually you interrupting me, and it's because I talk too much and I never shut up, and that's probably why that happens.
Probably.
But we try to stick to a format, and today's format is going to be fun because we've got kind of like two main topics, both of which I told you pretty much last minute.
I don't even remember.
So you have no preparation whatsoever for it, but it's going to be fun because one of them, people have already been chatting about. I've already gotten messages on Facebook. People are like, oh man, are you really going to talk about this? So, I mean, I guess it's really happening.
Okay,
But
I remember.
in the last hour, we've changed everything out here. Everything's in a completely different configuration. I don't know how much you can notice it on camera, but it's all changed up. Lisa and I are actually like, I can touch her computer now,
Don't do that.
which is weird. We used to have the table long ways. Now we turned it so that I can fit my computer on it and all that. It's all crazy. So yeah, I don't know how much different it looks on camera, but for us, it's very different because you're so close where you used to be way, way over there. But who cares about all that? We've got a weekend to talk about. I offered for you to go first, and you said
Okay.
no. You want to go first. So do you want to change your mind? Do you want to go first? Do you want to
can
talk
go
about?
first
Okay. Well,
because I'm just going to say it. I have allergies again, and my throat is a little scratchy. I can't help it. We live in Virginia.
it's that time of year, but you don't sound any different than you normally do. But
I feel different.
I see somebody saying hi to Jeff Rose. The guy is still with us. Look at that. I haven't seen
Yay.
Jeff Rose in so long. I was thinking about him earlier today, and I don't know why I would be thinking about a man that I've never met in person, but I was thinking about him. Maybe it was that gorgeous beard that he has, and I'm actually trying to maintain this thing a little differently, and maybe it's that, but
You're so funny.
anyway, let's get into the weekend, folks. If this is your first time joining us, the first thing we do every week is we do what's going on, which is our opportunity to update you on what's been going on with our fish keeping hobby over the last week. And because we have been in the process of building this fish room, there's been big stuff every week. It's been one thing after another. So, but this week, this was the big one.
Yep.
I'm not going to talk about yours at all because I'm going to leave that for you. But there's been 3 videos released on YouTube about this legendary weekend that we had. It was absolutely amazing. We've been talking about it for weeks, and it finally came to fruition on Saturday. But we really got to start with Thursday because Thursday is when all the action started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rack Cross showed up. I have not seen him show his face yet in the chat, but I will be looking. I'm sure he's going to be with us here tonight. That was a lot of fun. One thing I learned about having a guest in this studio is we need a third mic.
Yes.
So next time there's going to be somebody that's going to come in here and sit with us, they're going to have their own camera. They're going to have their own microphone. It's one of the reasons why I changed this configuration here, because we can put them right there. I can move the computer and we can do a whole thing. So that'll be nice. Definitely want to do that. But it was a lot of fun to have Rack with us that night. What a good dude. I mean, I could give examples all night long of all of the reasons why that's a good dude. But I mean, hey, we had so much fun. Friday, after the stream, him and I were both exhausted. You went to bed. He went back to his hotel room and he fell asleep. And I don't think he got up till like 11 the next day.
Oh, wow.
which is nuts. I was up at like 8. But Friday, we were pretty much in this room the whole day, just jibber jabbering, talking YouTube, talking fish keeping, talking about wives, talking about all kinds of stuff. And then we did his stream, which was a blast. But then we have to fast forward to Saturday, the 24th of August, which was somebody's 22nd birthday, right?
Okay, whatever.
It was Marie's birthday that day, and we had the whole thing planned. It was a wonderful day. It went off, I'd love to say without a hitch, but there were 2 hitches that we'll get into. But it all started with meeting Scott and Liz. They are in the chat, or at least he is. King and Queen Cichlids, we met up with them at a really cool restaurant. Don't even remember what it was called. Something Grill.
Was it called The Grill?
It might have just been called The Grill, but
It was great.
very, very nice. I got a Reuben, in case anybody's wondering. It was delicious. You got, what, a chicken salad or something? Yep.
And Liz got a salad in a cup.
Yes, and it had bacon.
And
She got a
celery.
drink that had bacon in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never seen anything like that
Interesting.
before.
It looked good.
That was really cool. Dinner or lunch, brunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it, was awesome. But you could tell every single person at that table was like, all right, let's go. Let's go. Like everybody was ready to get out of there and go fish store hopping. Started off at House of Tropicals. If you haven't seen my video, it's fine. Skip it. It's no big deal. Go watch Rax and go watch King and Queen Cichlids videos. His just went up today at an hour ago, 2 hours ago. It just went up and it was awesome. I loved it. And it's not just because we were in it. I mean, I loved it. It was a good video.
It was a good video, absolutely.
And it's already like, even though it was less than a week ago, it was like reliving it again. And it was fun. But
and it's interesting to see it from other people's point of view.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And there were things in that video that were also in mine, but they were from his camera, so it was a different
Yeah.
angle, so it was pretty neat.
We got 3 different views.
Yep. There were a couple of shots that all 3 of us got, and we all put them in our videos, and it was just neat. It's neat to see them from all different angles, but that was a lot of fun. House of Tropicals, the only disappointing thing about that and lunch was that we just didn't have more time.
I know. We just had too much fun. That's why.
If I had my way, everything that we did that day, we would have done about 3 times as long, except for the visit to Discus Hans. Now, I know that sounds bad, and I don't mean for it to sound bad. The reason why I say that is because Hans started playing a game with me. Hans and I, we've known each other since like 2013, and we like to break each other's balls. That's what we do, and it's a lot of fun. And his way of breaking my balls that day was basically holding us hostage and not letting us leave. Mm-hmm. We were on a schedule. We had things that we had to get to certain places, and he was like, "No, I'm Discus Hans.
I had fun.
I'm going to start telling a story, and when I start telling a story, everybody's going to listen, and nobody's going to want to leave. John, you will get your arowanas later." But we went to Hans. We were there a couple hours. I'm not going to talk about what we got there because I'm going to leave that for you. What were you going to interrupt?
Oh, about him calling the guy.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
See,
hilarious.
we were all standing outside of Discus Hans, all of us. We were all chatting, and he was telling stories, and it was amazing. And I kept telling him, I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, dude, come on now. We got to get out of here. I got arowanas down the street. And he was like, fine. He picks up his phone. He calls Lucky Aquarium, which is where we went next, and he calls the guy, hey, do you have arowanas? Okay, when this bald guy gets over there to get them, charge him double.
It was so funny.
But it was fun. I mean, we like to break each other's balls. That's what we've been doing forever, and we really enjoyed ourselves there. I'm going to let you talk about Hans more. Do you want to do that? Came in real early and drop the $5 ice cream fund money, and then Fish Tank Man UK came in with the $2, says thanks for all you do for the hobby. That's awesome. Thank you. So now it's yours, my lady. I'm going to put the camera on you.
Well, of course, it wasn't a surprise that I got Discus there because I'd been talking about getting Discus for a while. And I got the Santarum, just like I said I wanted to get. And honestly, I couldn't be any more happier. The first night I brought them home, I didn't try to feed them. I turned the lights off so that it was nice and, calming for them, and they weren't so stressed. And I didn't feed them for 24 hours just because I wanted to give them time to adjust. But as soon as I fed them, they were eating. They like to eat a lot. And they're actually trying to eat off of the intake. It's hilarious.
I saw that. I wonder if they were cleaning it off because they wanted to breed.
Oh, no, they're too small.
They're too small for that.
But I've been feeding them the food that Discus Hans makes himself, and they tear it up. Oh, my gosh. I don't even know if I'm going to take them off of it. I thought about weaning them off of it and just giving it to them for a little while until they start eating the other food that I got for them. But I think I'm going to keep them on it because they're doing so well and they love it. And they're already coloring up very well. They have that kind of brownish burgundy look to them, and that's what I like the most about them. I also got some other fish from House of Tropicals that I plan on putting in there with them, but
you can see them on camera. They're down there.
But they're in quarantine because nothing goes with my Discus until they're quarantined for quite a while. So it will definitely be probably 6 to 8 weeks before you even see them in there. But they are rummy-nosed tetra, and they were a gift from Rack. He bought those for me, and I thought that was super special. So pretty much this is like my birthday tank, if you want to call it that. But I'm not going to call it that because I think Rachel calls a tank that she has a birthday tank, so I can't copy. But these are my birthday fish. So anyway, go ahead.
So Steve C. just asked, did I miss the heater part? No, you did not miss the heater part. It's coming. We do the same thing every week. We do our first segment is what's going on, where we update you on everything that we have going on in our fish room, and then we get into the main topic. What I am going to do, though, if today's main topic, the heater talk, the YouTube talk is not going to be the main topic.
I have to say something. I find it hilarious how many people get me and Liz's name confused because I get called Liz a lot, but I'm Lisa. Liz is with Scott, so.
And you'll hear me call her Marie. That's because it's her middle name, and that's what I call her. I saw somebody like, Marie, what?
I don't mind if you call me Liz. I just want you to know I'm Lisa. That's all.
Yep. But anyway, we will get into the main topic. And if it does go well today and it's short, then we will upload that as its own video tomorrow. Not going to delete the stream, but it'll go up tomorrow. So if you miss it today, because you can't hang around for hours and hours and hours, then we'll put that up tomorrow. Or you can just come back and watch this. Totally up to you. So since we're on the topic of Scott and Liz and the Discus, best Discus ever come from Discus Hans.
Absolutely.
And the food he makes for them is second to none. Had a great time with you guys. We must do it again. Shout out to Rack. Yes, that was attached
it was a lot
to
of
a
fun.
$10 super chat from King and Queen Cichlids, as if they didn't do enough for us already.
Gosh.
So, yes, thank you so much for that. And Rack is with us here tonight, thankfully. Yeah,
Hey,
we were
Rack.
wondering. So,
Hi, Angela. I know you're watching too.
I hope so. I think we're gonna get the chance to meet her tomorrow, which will be really cool.
I can't wait.
So, trying to get through this, what's going on, and people keep throwing money at us. Allie Patton comes in with the $30 super chat. Sorry, I missed last week. The collab with Rack, Scott, and Liz was awesome. Here's for the Rack comeback fun.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
that is
awesome. The
Now,
Rack comeback fun. I like that.
I want to tell the story here, and the person that I'm going to refer to, which I do not know their name, I'm going to try to find it on my phone. For some reason, this comment that I want to address today is only on my phone. It's not on the website. But this guy, it's going to make this guy even more mad because he was complaining about us getting stuff for free, which is kind of what brought on today's topic of the YouTube thing. But you talked about the rummy nose being a gift from Rack. Well, we were in there, and we saw they were running a deal on them. it was like 10 for $45 or something like that. Or $35. I don't remember.
It was
And
45.
So it was what?
10 for 45.
Okay. So I told you, I said, if you want to get those, I will get them for you as part of your birthday present.
Yeah, you said 20.
Well, because that's how you said, that's how many you said you wanted. And I was like, okay, I'll get them. And then you were like, well, no, I want 30.
No, I said I'd pay for 10, and you said you'd pay for 20.
Okay.
That's how it went. So
either way,
I went with 30 because I thought 30 would be better.
that's how it was supposed to be. I carry these fish up and some plants that are behind you now. I carry those up to the counter at House of Tropicals. I put them on the counter, and I'm handing the lady my credit card, and Rack swoops in and says, nope, put your money away, and pays for these fish for Lisa. The guy is too much. He's too much. We
it
don't
was so
deserve friends
sweet.
like that.
That's why I
mean,
said they were my birthday gift.
yes, they definitely were. Among like 2 meals, and I mean, he spoiled us, and I don't even know why.
And did you mention that Scott and Liz bought us lunch as well?
I did.
Okay.
Didn't I? Or no, I don't think I did. But yeah, that was
At the beginning of
yeah.
just being spoiled for
Yeah.
the day.
And you know what? Shame on me for forgetting that. Scott, no disrespect. My bad. Yes, Scott and Liz picked up the check at lunch, which was part of their gift to Lisa as well. So yeah, we got spoiled that day. I got spoiled because it was your birthday.
I know.
And
I don't mind sharing.
it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Chad Krotz with the $10. Thank you so much, sir. I second
you.
that, Allie. That's awesome of you. So, okay, lost my train of thought there. So yes, Scott and Liz, they bought our lunch. We went to Hans. He held us hostage for 3 hours. And then we went.
I can't think of a better person to be held hostage, though.
Awesome. It was so much fun. And then we went to Lucky Aquarium, which was, it's one of my new favorite fish stores. It really is. And I'm not saying that this guy did not give me fish for free. He didn't know who I was. He had no care in the world who I was. It wasn't anything like that. It was a fish store that was just, it was unlike any fish store I'd been to.
It was so clean and nice and just,
And it
the
was
fish
all,
were well cared for.
They were, and they were all monster fish. I've never seen a store like this. I've been in stores that are all African cichlids. I've been in stores that are all, of course, saltwater. I've never been in a store that is 100% monster fish. And it was just, it was mind-blowing. It threw a curveball at me. Like, it made it so difficult to make a decision as far as what I was going to do. So,
You know, we've been to another one, but it wasn't even close to
yeah, we won't
that
go there.
level. I mean, of standards. So
Yeah, that, anyway. So, but yeah, Lucky Aquariums was amazing. There were huge tanks in there, and the fish were immaculate. They were healthy. They were big. I mean, they had a lot of big fish. Now, my plan going in there was to get 2 arowanas, because he said he had 2 arowanas, and they were going to be big, and then I was going to get my lemon Oscars, and I was going to be out the door. But you threw a couple curveballs at me, and the store threw a couple curveballs at me, because they didn't have the 12 inchers that I went in there after. They had the 2 small ones that you see behind me. One is right, there, obviously, and the other is right there. They're probably 8 and 6 inches, the 2 of them. I was worried that they were going to disappear in that tank. They really haven't. I mean, they're not as dominant in the tank as they will be in about a year, but
Yeah.
they're in there. I love them. They're amazing. And we decided to get with those the 3 gold severums, which the second you pointed those out to me, I was like, oh God, here we go. I mean,
know.
that was like, if you just hadn't shown those to me, because it was like all I could think about was those gold severums at that point. I've become, over the last 6 months, obsessed with severums. I really have. To me, they are second to Discus as far as how gorgeous they are. There's not nearly as many varieties of them as there are Discus, but the red ones and the speckled ones and the gold ones and they're just beautiful. So
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude and interrupt, but I mean, I keep seeing a lot of questions, but there's one that kind of, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I wanted to read it really quickly. By Genevieve. Question for Lisa. Do your cats ever try to eat your beta? I walked away for a moment on Tuesday to grab something, and my cat snatched Kingsley right off his leaf and ripped him to shreds. Sucked a ton. I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't keep... Okay, so in here, I keep the cats, of course, obviously you know that, but all of my tanks have lids, so they can't get to my beta. The only tanks that I have in the house with beta in it, I don't have cats that are around them. So I'm sorry about your beta. Just if you get another one, you might want to get a lid just so you never have to go through that again. Or put it in a room, and don't let your cat go in that room, like a bedroom or something. So. Well,
the one thing that Rena did do, though, was cleared out all those plants out of Chris Lukop's tank.
Oh, yes, because there was this much room in the very back, and she probably could have got the beta because it was not a very good lid, but instead she just reached in and pulled out all the plants and threw them on the ground.
Didn't hurt the fish.
No, it didn't hurt the fish, but it's definitely something to think about. And
so may I go back to?
I am sorry.
Okay.
I apologize before I started, but I keep seeing so many questions I want to answer, and I will get back to everybody. Just repeat your questions in a little while.
This is why, and I'm not mad at you for that, because Celeste is a member, and that's a priority, and I get it. But this is why we almost have to ignore the chat. Otherwise, this is just all over the place. But you know what? If it's entertaining for you, that's all that matters. So while we're on the
Lisa.
while we're on the topic, Duke City Aquariums has become a new member. Welcome to the team. Very exciting. If you're wondering what that is, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it, but because people will get mad. But it gives you some special perks with the channel and gets you access to things that other people don't have access to. So if you're wondering about that, just click the little join button down below us and check it out. You're not obligated to do it. But anyway, welcome to Duke City Aquariums. For that, I think he may have been a member before and maybe dropped off and came back or something. Who cares? But anyway, I was faced with the dilemma of what to do at Lucky Aquariums. Folks, when you watch that video that I put up on Sunday, it shows the drama quite well that I went through at that store. But it only shows a little bit of it. This was something, it was grueling to me. I mean, it was probably an hour it took me to figure out what it was that I was going to do. So the video just shows a little bit of it. But when I was sitting out on the porch of the shop, and I was sitting there thinking about it, that happened. I mean, I wasn't acting for the camera. It was something that was very, very difficult for me because I went in there for one particular thing. And if they had that one particular thing, it would have been a no-brainer. But because they mixed things up on me, I ended up getting the two smaller arowanas. Again, they're about 8 and 6 inches, which is awesome. I mean, they're going to grow. We were a little bit worried about the bigger of the two, didn't want to eat. I preach all the time, don't panic when your fish isn't eating, especially if you just got it 2 days ago. But I was panicking because that's my arowana. But we were able to get him to...
He was feeding them feeders.
I know. Yep, he was feeding them feeders, so I had to break him of that. The small one broke from feeders immediately. Ate the night the next day when we brought him home. And it wasn't until a couple days later that the big one ate. So anyway, it's good. They are settling in just fine. I forgot to mention, I did also pick up those 3 gold severums. They're about 1.5 inches long. They're not huge. They're actually quite small, but they'll be fine. And then I just couldn't leave without Oscars. I had to have Oscars. So I got an albino tiger Oscar and a regular tiger Oscar. The tiger Oscar you will see right there. He'll be the little black dot swimming around behind my head, but he's not going to be a little black dot for very long. And then all of the bright specks are going to be the gold severums and the Oscars. Don't get used to the way that tank looks because it's only going to be a matter of time before they are going to be huge. And I don't see it becoming a problem. I mean, it's a 360 gallon tank. I don't see it getting too crowded in there, but if it does, I'll put the gold severums in their own tank and I won't feel bad for it. I'll be happy to do that. Welcome to
it'll
the
be
team,
fine.
Ricky Gerhardt, new member. We love to see new members, and I'm excited to welcome you to the team. So we didn't get back home till, what time was it? I don't even know. It was like 9 something. It was late. The kids were here
Yeah.
waiting for you to celebrate your birthday. We did the birthday cake, and they put the 1 and the 9 candles on there. I've only had one comment about that in the video, by the way. I don't even know if you knew I put you in the video blowing out the candles, but the cake.
I watched the video.
The cake did say 1-9. It said 19, and she did not just turn 19. But not
I
far
wish
from
I
it,
could
but-
read David's card, what it said.
No.
It was so funny.
Let's not. But all in all, it was an absolutely wonderful day. A wonderful day spent with wonderful people, sitting in wonderful Northern Virginia and Maryland traffic. But it was a blast. I mean,
It was
it was
lots
one
of
of those
fun.
things that we have to do it again, and we have to do it again soon. We can't let it go too long. Before you know it, it's going to be cold out there, and it's not going to be as fun if it's cold outside. So
That's true.
we definitely got to look into that. So multi-tank addiction, my new friend I'm going to be talking about later on, with the $2 super chat said, I knew you would do it. And I'm assuming he's talking about the arowanas.
Oh,
So I'm going to talk about you in a little bit. Don't you worry. But we're going to do a shout out, which we do every single week. And newsflash or spoiler alert, you're going to be one of them. And I think you know why. So, so yeah, I mean, I don't know really what else to recap on. I mean, it's been a crazy time. Sunday, I had Rack here, and we edited his video together, and we edited mine, and I kind of, gave him some pointers on editing and stuff like that. And so it was literally all day sitting in front of the computer, doing editing stuff. And then it was back to the real world on Monday.
Yeah.
And so
And
now
then
here we are.
And then we had to tell Rack bye, and it was so sad because we missed him so much after he left because he was here every day for like 4 days. So it was like, bye, big brother, when he left.
You know what? That man loves his wife. And that was very evident.
So sweet.
Because when the way it worked here, folks, was he drove here, and then she had a conference for her work in D.C., so she flew to D.C., and then he went and met up with her there. And we're sitting in my office, and we're editing, and we had just put up his video, and it's like an exciting moment. And he looks at his phone, he's like, oh, she just landed. Boom. 30 seconds later, he was out the door, gone, halfway up to D.C. So that was awesome. But
I know.
that was cool to see that, because, I mean, I love you, but I don't know that I would leave a house that fast. I'd be like, all right, she's there. I guess I got to go now. And you'd be the same way, so don't you even say it.
Well, I wouldn't have even looked at the phone for 20 minutes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'd have been sitting up there at the airport, like, waiting. Where is she? She forgot about me.
Uber. No, just kidding.
So let me move this over here. We actually got through what's going on a lot faster than I expected that we would. And maybe it's because you kept interrupting, which kept me from going off the rails too far. But what a fun day it was. I can't wait to do it again. And we're going to have to involve some more people next time. We had a few people come up to us, all of us, throughout the day at these different stores, and they didn't go there to see us. They just happened to be there, and they were like,
yeah.
oh. And the funny thing is, I didn't get recognized once, which I love, because I just want to do my own thing, and I don't care. But you got recognized, and Scott got recognized. And I just love that. I love seeing other YouTubers get recognized. I don't want people to recognize me. I just want to buy fish and go home. But anyway, very cool. If you, whoever those people were, if you're watching us, it was very cool to meet you. But, anyway, I just made myself look like a total jerk. So let's move on. Should we get into the YouTube thing first or the heater thing first? What do you want to do? I'm going to leave it up to you.
Well,
Or do you want to talk about something first?
I don't know, but just talk. This is so off topic.
Good. Give it to you. Boom.
No, I was getting ready to say I was going to go get an ibuprofen because I have a little headache. You're so funny. So go ahead and just start. and I'll be right back.
All right, let's go with a vote in the chat here, folks. Do we want to talk about heaters, or do we want to talk about should YouTubers get free stuff? Which one do you want to go with first? I'll leave it up to you, and then when Marie comes back, then actually she's going to come back in the room and she's going to say, where's the ibuprofen? And I'm going to have to tell her. And then she'll go back and get it, and when she comes back, that is when we will talk about it. All right, we got 1, 2, 3 votes for heaters. YouTube, heaters, heaters, YouTube, heaters. I can't keep track of this. I can't keep track of it. It's too much. I see a lot of YouTubers. I see a lot of, okay. All right. So we'll go with YouTube then. Let's talk about this whole thing with YouTube. I have a feeling this is going to morph into something that it probably shouldn't. I had a YouTuber, a friend of mine, message me before this stream started. And he said, are you really going to do that? Are you really going to talk about YouTubers getting free stuff? You know, there's going to be people that are going to be upset and all this. And I said, hey, I'm not going off the rails with this topic. It's not a bad topic. And I said, you know, well, I'm not going to spoil it for all of you, but Kilted Python 223, as if he doesn't support this channel enough, decided to give the $10 tattoo fund. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tattoo later because I've been thinking more and more about that. So there's two things that have led me to want to talk about this. And you're going to have to bear with me here, folks, while I look for this comment, because I get comments all the time on any videos, but particularly if I do a video about a product where I actually say in that video, I got this product for free. Like the, did you find it?
I did.
Okay. Was it in my office?
Yeah, it took me forever to find it. But look at this. Rena is in my seat. You're so
I'm scrolling through here trying to find this comment. I use TubeBuddy in case anybody's wondering. You can't see it because of the glare, but I use the TubeBuddy app. If you're a YouTuber and you're not using TubeBuddy, you're doing it wrong. But I get comments all the time that are people frowning on us getting products for free.
Oh.
And I kind of understand it. I kind of understand why it happens. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling here. There was one guy that went to like 12 videos and copied and pasted the same message, some question about his Oscar. So now that I'm done scrolling through all of those, I'm sorry, I should have done this before starting the stream, but the problem is I was trying to find it on the computer and oh geez, I know I'm getting close because I recognize the comments. I read every comment that is put up on my channel, folks. The good ones, the bad ones, all of them. I do not have the time to respond to every single one of them. I wish I could, but I don't. And it's something that makes me sad because I would like to respond to every comment if I could, but it would be a full-time job and I'm not exaggerating. So here is the comment. I found it. Not going to read names because, you know, this guy is just misguided. Okay, I'm not mad at the guy. This was on the video of us having such a wonderful day on your birthday on Saturday.
Okay.
Do you get everything for free? Question mark. Seems like you contact companies and sellers to demo stuff so that they give you products for nothing. Couldn't even pay for your own dinner.
Oh my gosh.
You came back to make money off fish keepers and get free products. Couldn't make it on your own business, evidently. So sad and disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So next time, folks, next time you think you get bad comments, come over here and I'll share mine with you, and you can see what bad comments are all about. I try as hard as I can to be nice and positive and support everybody, but this still happens no matter what. And you know what? I lose exactly 0 sleep over this, but it just got me thinking when I read that how people who don't know how all this works might look at this and might be upset because they see that's just an idiot in King George making videos about fish and he gets all this stuff for free. It's not fair. How come I can't get stuff for free? They don't look big picture. And I wanted to talk about that big picture with you. The other thing that it's not just that comment. Wouldn't it be funny if that guy showed up in the chat here tonight and he was like, yeah, and I meant every word of it. Like, whatever. But another thing, there's been multiple comments like that. They come through all the time, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm sitting on the toilet thumbing through comments. Like, who cares?
But too much info.
That one rubbed me the wrong way. You know what bothered me the most about that one was you couldn't even pay for your own dinner. And I'm like, okay, Scott McLaughlin, did I say it right, Scott? Because I always want to say McLaughlin because my dad always watched the McLaughlin group. But anyway, he said it in his live stream. We're going to pick up the check for lunch for Lisa's birthday. That was, I didn't ask him for that. I've never asked anybody to buy us dinner. But thank you for joining the team, Michael Young. That's how I'm going to do it from now on. New member, very excited to have you with us. Here's the thing. I don't ask for anything, okay? I don't. If there is a product, there's lights coming for her Discus tank, folks. Oh, watch out. I didn't ask for them. I didn't ask for those lights behind her. I didn't ask for the lights on this one. They come to us. Why? We're going to talk about that in a minute. It's not just me. It's a lot of people. But the other thing that got me kind of piqued my interest about talking about this was Corey last night. Now, this is not I'm getting ready to slam Corey. No, y'all know better than that. Y'all know I don't have anything but positive things to say about Corey. However, he said something last night in his stream that I happen to disagree with. And the good thing about Corey is I've known him for several years. And first of all, Corey's crazy because he was like, oh, I've only been doing YouTube for 3 years. Dude put up his first video in 2013. Who's he kidding? It's like, Corey, come on now. But anyway, you know I'm not going to speak negatively about Corey. I'm not going to speak negatively about anybody. But there's something that him and I disagree on, and that's okay. We can do that. So
it's okay to disagree.
I showed it to you. I watch streams all the time, folks. And the reason why I watch them mostly, hopefully nobody's offended by this, is I work my job out on the road all day, and then I come home, and I've got administrative work to do for my big boy job. And so I don't want to just sit in a quiet room, so I'll put a stream on. It'll be Bob Steenfott, it'll be Joel, it'll be whoever's on at the time. Mm-hmm. And last night, Corey was on, and then I kept it on, and it was at the very end of his stream. There was like 5 minutes left in his stream. He was talking about YouTubers doing product reviews, and he was talking about there being kind of an oversaturation of said product reviews. And he referenced the OASA. He says the word differently, but I say OASA.
And the funny thing is, I had never heard of that product, ever.
Yeah, it's because they're fairly new. At least I think so. I don't know the history behind that company. PecTech did a video where there was a rep from that company in the video, and he pronounced it OASA. I don't know where they're from. I don't know anything about them. I've never used any of their products. But what I do know is they're sending a ton of products out to a ton of YouTubers, and they're doing reviews on them, and that's awesome. That's cool. I am somebody who is a fan of lots and lots of product reviews, which is why I said I disagree with Corey on this. It doesn't mean that he's wrong and I'm right or the other way around. It just means our opinions are different. Mm-hmm. We look at things differently, and that's fine. Corey knows I love him. Thank you once again, Chris. You feel like you just need to keep throwing money at us. If someone offended me if someone offered me a product to test, I'd take it. Yeah, you damn right you would, because you'd be an idiot if you didn't. We're going to talk about that.
Unless you don't believe in that product. If you don't believe in something, then it's okay to say, no, I'm just not feeling it. I don't feel like I'm being honest if I have to say it's the best product in the world, because I don't want to down a product. I wouldn't want to have to say, no, this doesn't work for me. So right from the get-go, if I don't believe in something, I would just say no.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I handle the K2 Tropicals email, but I know a lot of times you read the emails that are in there too. We get emails constantly from people that it could be companies that you've heard of. It could be companies that we've never heard of. It's this, you get that email. Any YouTuber watching this right now is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. You get that email and it says, "Hello, dear. It is your best friend, Jake," or something.
Oh, yeah.
And we are very much interested in your beautiful YouTube channel, and we would love it if you, and it's obviously somebody that had to use Google Translate to send the email address, whatever. And with those, I don't even answer those. It's just not, it's not worth it because they're offering like a small little teeny light that we don't need. And I'm like, no, I don't want to mess with that. Welcome to the team, Lynn Sieber. I hope one of those is correct. Welcome to the team. Since you're a member now, I need to know how to say your name, so I'm going to need you to clarify that for me so that I don't mispronounce it ever again. But I agree with Corey that there is a lot of these videos out there for OWASA. They're pushing hard. They're pumping out. They're not pumping out, but they're sending out a ton of product to a ton of YouTubers, and they're making videos about them. And you know what? It makes total sense for me that they do that. And again, we're going to get into why that is. I disagree that there's too much, though, and here's why. I know. Okay, Sieber, thank you. All right, I'm glad you did it that way because that makes it make so much more sense. So here's the deal, folks. 2 weeks ago, I hate when people say a letter and a number and then they put the fingers up. I hate when people do that, and I just did it myself. That means I'm deep in thought. 2 weeks ago, I was out here filming, and then I was editing, and I hated the audio. I hated it. The microphone that I had hooked up to my Canon SL2 camera, it just sounded horrible. And I told you, I said, I got to do something about this. And that's when you said, hey, you got to spend money to make money. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you very much. I'll be ordering it tonight. So I then began obsessing over what am I going to get? I know this isn't fish keeping related, but it's the same topic. Welcome, Black Sheep Model Works. I love it. Seems like every time I say welcome to somebody, we get another one. So welcome. So I went to YouTube because I'm a better video consumer than I am reader of articles. Went to YouTube and watched a ton of videos about what is the best onboard microphone for vlogging. I'm not a vlogger, and I don't plan on being a vlogger, but if you're walking around or if you're filming fish or whatever it is that you're doing, you're walking through a pet store, you're basically doing the same things that a vlogger would do. So that's the kind of microphone that I wanted. And so I found the one that I thought I liked, which was the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. I said, that's the one. Of course, it's the most expensive, but of course it had to be. But I said, I think that's the one I want. So now I'm going to watch video after video after video from all of these channels talking about that microphone. And what it did was it solidified my decision. I kept hearing the same things over and over and over again, and it just made me feel good about the purchase. And then I finally made the purchase and ordered it, and I got it a couple days later because I ordered it on Amazon. The point that I'm trying to make is I was introduced and subscribed to multiple channels because of that little research that I did. I like a lot of tech channels. Marcus Brownlee, Jonathan Morrison, Linus, all those guys, Austin Evans. I love watching those guys' videos because I like dreaming about fancy technology. And there were channels that I had never seen before, and I liked their channels, and I subscribed to them. How this relates to fish keeping is you get that guy that bought an aquarium a month ago, and he says, and he's working with it, and he's like, my water is dirty. I want to upgrade my filter because I bought a starter kit, and the filter's just not cutting it. I've got 18 cichlids in there, and I need a bigger filter. I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to find out who has a better filter. And you start that whole process, the one that I was just talking about. These people go on, and they watch a bunch of YouTubers' videos about a bunch of different filters, and then they latch onto one, and they start watching videos all about that filter, and next thing you know, this guy or girl is exposed to our little world that we have here, our little fish keeping community that we have here that's growing every single day. And this is someone, I've had so many people message me. I had a guy come up to me in Chicago. This is a true story. I had a guy come up to me in Chicago in 2015, and he said, I know you. And I said, I don't know you. And he said, I am fish keeping because of a video that you did. And I'm like, wow, how did that happen? And he said he was watching a video about military planes. Okay. Apparently there's a military plane that has some number that's similar to FX6. I don't know.
Oh.
So he's watching watching videos about planes. It might not have been military planes. It might have just been planes. And he gets up and he leaves the room to take a leak or whatever. And he comes back and my video was autoplaying. And for some reason, my video that I made in 2013 about the Fluval FX6 caught his eye. He watched that video and he said, I fell down a rabbit hole for hours and hours and hours, not only watching your videos, but other people's videos. And I fell in love with the concept of getting a fish tank. So it didn't have anything to do with me. It just happened to be my video on at the right time. And the guy caught it and he fell in love with this hobby because of that. I think that this is happening every single day. Not that new fish keepers are sprouting up because of these product review videos, but you have people that are not aware of this community that we have on YouTube. And when they go to watch videos about the newest heaters, which we're going to be talking about, maybe, I don't know, it depends on how long it goes. There's going to be a lot of people mad at me if I don't. But anyway, we're going to talk about heaters, don't worry. But you get somebody watching videos about heaters and then they're like, wow, look at all of this. Look how many channels there are out there. These people are a community. This is cool. I want to be a part of this. And ladies and gentlemen, our community grows. I believe this very strongly, that these videos benefit more than just the companies that the product is about. I believe that because there are people, I promise you, there are people that watched my video on these lights that have no interest in buying these lights, but they watched it anyway. Why? Because they're a supporter of the community. They like watching this kind of stuff. And it has nothing to do with me. It's just, hey, that's something new going on. I want to see it. It looks pretty cool. Then let me watch that. I think that happens all the time. And I think that we get new members into our YouTube community every day because of these product videos. And the more this community grows, the more it works out well for everybody. That's my whole point here. I try to look big picture, and believe me, there's nobody that looks big picture more than Corey McElroy does. So this is not an assault on him. This is just me disagreeing with what he said. That guy is an out-of-the-box thinker more than anyone else I've ever met. So we just happen to look at this a little bit differently. But I actually believe that the product reviews are a positive thing for the growth of this community. Okay, so now, should YouTubers, did you want to say anything? I'm just going on and on and on and on. Okay. Should YouTubers get product for free? There are a lot of people, including a long-time YouTube veteran. Okay, maybe a couple years, but he's been around for a while, long-time fish keeper that messaged me right before I went live that said he is against fish keepers on YouTube getting free product. And I said, watch this, and I bet you change your mind. Do you want to address the super chat there? There's a question attached to it. Why don't we take a break and you do that? And did you get it yet from Junk Shop?
Oh, okay. Junk Shop Library. Interesting. I like that name. Okay. Any tips? White skirt tetras. Mine are dropping like flies in a Planet 29 gallon in which everything else is thriving. Well,
only the white skirts are dying. Other fish are okay.
I kind of need a little bit more. Like, is it a brand new tank? Was it cycled? Are the fish, maybe the other fish, are they faster, maybe driving them crazy and they're stressed out and they're
Talk
dying.
a little bit more. I'm going to go pee.
I kind of need a little bit more info, if you don't mind. You don't have to put it in a super chat. Because I would really like to help you. There could be a couple reasons why that is happening. So let me see. I'm just waiting for you to reply, but in the meantime, I want to go back. Crap, I saw something. You know what? Actually, this is what I want to do because it's been on my mind a lot today, and I wanted to say that I'm really sorry for Candy because she lost her dog, and I don't mean to bring that up and get her really upset right now or anything, but if you guys could just maybe tell her sorry for her loss, that would be great, because I know her dog was like part of her family. She'd had it since it was a puppy and picked it out from birth. So anyways, she's had a really hard time the last few days, so just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Let's see here. I am not getting any more information from Junk Shop.
Well, you can be on the lookout for it, and I'll let you interrupt a little later and go with it. Somebody did ask, before I go on to my next thing, Joe Coffee said, I like what you're saying, yes, but if that is really the case, why isn't anyone reviewing the Imagitarium, am I saying that right, under gravel filter or anything else that doesn't cost a rent payment? I'll tell you why. Because most YouTubers that are fish keepers are going to be at a higher level than a filter like that would be. Now, please don't be offended, anybody who's using an under gravel filter. I'm not saying that they're bad, but usually when you mature a little bit in fish keeping, you realize, okay, maybe that's not the best kind of a system. At least it's my opinion. I know there's other people that swear by them, but plus you do not have Pleco reaching out to people saying, can we please send you this filter to review? They don't do that. We got a nice surprise from Pleco today, which we can't talk about, which was a very big surprise. I don't know if we can talk about anyway, but anyway, Pleco isn't known. Imagitarium is owned by Pleco. It's a Pleco brand, and it is not a brand that will be sending product out for people to review. Yeah,
I feel like it's isn't it equivalent to like Walmart's brand, like Sam's?
Equate. Yeah, it is. I mean, Equate, I don't know if Pleco owns that brand, but it's a brand that's exclusive to Pleco.
Yeah,
and they're selling enough of them.
I like their plants. As weird as that may sound, I like their live plants.
So anyway, all right, listen, I want to give you a scenario that will hopefully kind of make this all make sense when it comes to should YouTubers get free product? Because the question shouldn't be, should YouTubers accept free product? The question should be, why are YouTubers offered free product? And if you think about this, my guy that I was chatting with before the stream, I think it'll make a little bit more sense. Let's pretend for a second that you are a marketer, and let's say you're a marketer for OASA, since that's who started this whole conversation for me. You're a marketer for this company. It's a relatively new company, at least in North America. It's a new company that they're really starting to push here. So you've gotten a specific budget that you can use to market your product. Anyone out there that would say social media is not the way to market your products in fish keeping, anybody who disagrees with that is crazy, because you either have that or you have old school things like print media and stuff like that, which unfortunately is all dying. I love fish keeping magazines. We're subscribers to some of these magazines. I love them, but they are a thing that is going away, just like newspapers are going away.
I love the magazines.
I do too. They're wonderful. But if you have that marketing budget and you want to market your product, you've got options. You've got magazines, which are ridiculously expensive. I know because I've looked into advertising in them 10 years ago, and believe me, they're very expensive. and it's worth it. I'm not trying to say they rip people off. Or you also have the option of going to trade shows, and that's kind of what I want to talk about here. Things like Aquashella, Aquatic Experience, Magna, Reefapalooza, all of those different shows. And then you have your smaller club level shows. But the big ones, let's just talk Aquatic Experience, okay? I'm going to tell you a number right now, and you're going to think I'm crazy. But if you think about it, I bet you I'm right. I don't know this. I'm just using common sense. If you're a company like Owasa, who's trying to take over the aquatic world, at least when it comes to canister filters and pumps and stuff like that, they're not going to get a small 8x8 booth at the Aquatic Experience. They're going to get one of the big ones like Fluval and Cobalt and Hikari gets. How much do you think one of those costs? I don't know how much they cost, but if they're a dime under, let's say, $2,500 for the weekend, I'd be shocked. I'd give you all $4 that I have in my pocket right now that if it's not $2,500, it's way more for one of those big booths like that. So $2,500 for the booth. How many people are you going to send there? 4 or 5 of your staff? You're going to have to pay their salaries for the entire week. You're going to have to fly them to that event because a lot of these companies are located either in the deep south or in the west coast. So you're flying 4 or 5 employees over. You're putting those employees in hotels. You're paying their salaries. You are shipping you understand where I'm going with this? This all piles up. And I promise you, when you figure plane tickets, hotels, food, product, shipping costs, all of that, and booth rental, I guarantee you one of those big events, big booths, 15 grand. I promise you there is not a company that is getting one of those big booths at the Aquatic Experience and not paying 15 grand. At least, okay? So let's go ultra conservative. And let's say it's $10,000. That's reasonable, right? So you're this marketer guy for Owasa, and you're going to say, okay, I can spend $10,000 for a 2-day event that 4,000 people walked through. I'm doing the number thing. 4,000 people walked through those doors last year. You know all 4,000 of those people are not the ones that are interested in there. A lot of those are husbands that were drugged there by their wives or the other way around. So you know that not everyone that walks in those doors is actually there for the event. They're there because they have to. And that's what we do for our spouses, right? So 4,000 people walk through the door. Let's just say 3,000. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to say all 4,000 of those people are interested in what it is that you have to advertise. So it's going to cost you 10 grand, which is a very conservative number, to market this product to 4,000 people over a 2-day period. All right? Now let's switch it up. Let's say you take 4 filters. You send one of those filters to AquaPros, you send one to PecTech, you send one to Primetime Aquatics, and one to Tazawa Tanks. I'm not going to say myself because that would be weird, but you can send me one too. So here I am with the numbers thing. I got to put my hands down. You send out 4 of those filters. If it's a $300 filter, what do you think it costs? About $75 for the manufacturer to make it. So that's what, $225? No, that's $300 that you are sending out. You're sending out, let's say it costs you $200 to ship those 4 filters. $500 it costs you to send those 4 filters out. And what happens? Mike makes a video, gets about 50,000 views. Tazawa makes the video, gets about 20,000. Primetime Aquatics is going to get 20 or 30. And who was the other one I said? PecTech? PecTech's going to get 20 or 30. How many thousands of views are those 4 YouTubers going to get versus the amount of people that are going to be showing up at the doors of one of those trade shows? I am not in any way trying to disrespect those trade shows. I can't wait to go to the Aquatic Experience this year. And I've got my fingers crossed that we're going to be able to make it to Aquashella. I love these shows. I'm not trying to poo-poo these shows. What I'm saying is if you are a business person and you are considering where to spend your marketing dollars, what makes more sense? It makes a lot more sense to use 1/10 of the money to send out filters to a bunch of YouTubers that are going to get thousands of views. Imagine if you sent out 20 filters. Imagine how many thousands and thousands and thousands of views that you're going to get. It doesn't have to only be to the big channels. You know, Aquapros is 250,000 subscribers and gets 1 million views a month. It doesn't have to be one of those big channels. It just so happens that Mike is one of the channels that's reviewing the OASA products right now, and he's doing a daggone good job of it. So doesn't it make more sense as a marketer to want social media influencers, which I hate calling ourselves that, social media influencers, doesn't it make sense for those to be the people that you're sending this product to rather than spending all that money to go to one of those big trade shows? To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. When you go to your boss, you're the marketer, and you go to that boss, your boss, and you say, look, we're going to get hundreds of thousands of people looking at these products. And oh, by the way, every single one of those people that clicked on it has a specific intent to watch that video. They're not just being drug into watching the video by their wife or husband, whichever way you go. They are actually they have a vested interest in, I'll put it on me, in that video, what the product is. They're clicking on it because they want to watch it. I would rather have 4,000 YouTube video views than 4,000 people show up to a trade show. I'm just saying, because the 4,000 people that clicked on that want to see whatever it is, where half the people that walk through the doors at an event like that don't want to be there. It's a husband that goes there because his wife wants him to, and he thinks, well, if I'm nice to her, maybe I'll get lucky that night. And that's why he goes. I mean, come on, we're men, we're savages, but that's the way life works. So if I'm spending my marketing dollars, that's exactly what I'm doing. Why do you think the Aquatic Experience allows YouTubers to come in for free? Anybody that complains about YouTubers getting free stuff, if there's a YouTuber out there, you know I'm talking to you. If you got a free ticket to that event, actually, no, because that guy was, anyway, forget it. Forget what I just said. But any YouTuber that showed up to the Aquatic Experience, you walked in the door for free, didn't you? So you're one of these people too that takes free stuff. Why do they do that? They do it because they know you're going to be talking about this in your videos, and that's going to bring more people to the event. So it makes sense to give somebody a $40 ticket to go in because there might be people that show up there specifically to see that YouTuber. It makes total sense to do that. So it makes sense for the companies to want to send the products out, to have social media influencers. I got you back on camera, by the way. To have social media influencers talk about the products, whether it's reviewing them, whether it's just talking about them or whatever. I usually, when I do one, I kind of try to just talk about it. It's like, hey, this is what it does. This is what I like about it. This is what I don't like about it. Take it or leave it. I try not to give too much opinion. It's usually like, yeah, I like it. And I think that's pretty much what anybody does when they do a product review, whether they paid for the product or they got it for free. It doesn't really matter. You're just saying, hey, this is what I like about it. I can tell you this, though. Every single person that has reached out to me that has said, we want you to review a product for us, can we send it to you? I've told them, yes, you can. But listen, I am going to give an honest opinion about it, and if I think your product is trash, I'm not going to do a video on it. Every single one of those people have been told that, because I would rather not do a video at all than do one trashing a brand or a company or what. It's just not worth my time to say, oh, this is the piece of junk. I'm not going to do that. That's dumb.
I did a product review at the Aquatic Experience, and I didn't get a free product. I just liked it. It stood out to me, and I liked what it was about, so I did basically a review about it. The Aquarium video.
Yeah. You didn't get anything for that.
I didn't get anything for that. I don't even know if the guy knew I made it.
He never even sent a message and said thank you. Shame on him. Because that was an adorable video that I did a great job editing. But see,
I did the video, though.
He didn't ask you to do the video.
No, I wanted, it was
it.
my first video back into YouTube. And I just felt that connection and thought it was something nice because it was educational. And I like to do educational stuff for new fish keepers.
That is, it's actually unfortunate that video doesn't have more views than it does. I just saw it. What about the cat grass I sent the kitties? Dex Boltzmann.
Oh my gosh.
We have
yes.
that. It is on my desk. We're just not all that clear of what to do with it.
Yeah, I have never.
In fact, the letter's right there. It's on our little stand.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I want to grow it. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, we're going to look into that. It's been a wild couple of weeks. So
yes, but thank you so much. I can't wait because I've never done it before, so I thought let me do a little research on it before I start growing something and then like possibly kill it. So
Terrence Blanton says, you have 350 plus people watching you right now. Think about if we were literally in front of you and you were showing us a filter you were sent. Would you be like the Claw or Oasa in this case?
I think the Claw, is that like a thing now? I don't know.
I don't know what that means. Staring me in the face. I'm not sure how I would be. The Claw from Toy Story. Yeah, but how does that apply?
Oh.
We would be like the Claw or Oasa in this case. I still don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm very simple-minded. I'm not sure I get it, but I get the Toy Story reference. I don't know. I still don't get it. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll figure it out as we go. But anyway, okay. So if you want my honest opinion, and this is not because I have, because the guy's like the Claw. I get it now.
Oh,
okay,
got
I
it.
get it. Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
get it.
Allie.
Because you're saying the audience would be like the Claw. Okay, now I get it. I got you. Thank you. Yes, that's awesome. Thank you. If you would be that way in front of me, it would probably creep me out even more. but that's awesome. No, I mean I'd love to do a talk in front of 350 people. It's just that nobody's ever going to ask me to do that. But why would they? What am I going to do?
That's
Get up
so
there and
funny.
talk about? Here's why people get free products on YouTube. But anyway, from a marketing standpoint, it makes total sense for these companies to send out the product. From a community building standpoint, it makes total sense because I gave you that example earlier. The more people that watch the videos, the more people are going to be drawn into this community that didn't even know that this community existed. Just like I was drawn to tech channels that were reviewing a microphone that 2 weeks ago I didn't even realize I needed. So you never know what's going to happen. People run across your videos and they didn't even know that this community was there. And because of you or because of anybody that reviewed that product, now they're a part of the community. And the more this community grows, the more all of us benefit. So from that standpoint, from the community standpoint, it's a positive thing. From a marketing standpoint, it's a positive thing. And also from a YouTuber standpoint, it's a positive thing because you're getting content.
Yeah.
I mean, I have hit the wall many times, folks. In fact, I hit a wall back in like 2015, and a company reached out to me and was like, hey, we want to send you a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, yes, please, because that's going to give me content because I didn't know what else to talk about. That was a long time ago. But so it's also free content, and that benefits everyone. So now, it's going to happen. There's going to be somebody that's going to say it if they haven't said it already, and that is, what's the criteria? What is the criteria for getting free product? I'm going to tell you right now, there isn't one. I did a video, or I did a stream that you can't see because I deleted it. I did a stream like 3 years ago. Corey was my guest, and I talked about a similar topic to this, and I made a lot of people really, really mad. There were people, there were losers that was the next day making video responses to what I said about that topic. And I shouldn't have called them losers. I'm trying to be better than that. But it caused this huge ripple effect. And there was a lot of people mad. And I felt bad that Corey was a part of it. I didn't feel bad about what I said. I agreed, or I meant everything I said, and I stood by what I said. But Corey didn't need to be drug into that. So I deleted it because I didn't want to get him in trouble. But in that video, I said, 5,000 subscribers. Forget that. Because I know one of the cool things that's happening now that was not happening then is that you have social media managers for a lot of these companies. Like Current USA has one, Hikari has one, API has one, Seachem has one, Owasa I'm sure has one because they're all over the place. There are these people whose job it is to manage social media influencers, get product to those social media people. And I've talked to them and there's been people, they've said, you know what, we don't have criteria, but we have to like the channel. You know, they're not going to just say, yeah, you have 4 subscribers? Sure, here you go. Here's a $500 light. You know, no, it's not going to work like that. But they've said, hey, if it's a channel that we like, that we believe in, we'll support them. And that's awesome. So there really is no criteria. Just make good videos. And the last thing that I'm going to say for anyone, man crush alert, John loves Corey. I've always loved Corey, and I've never kept that a secret.
I know. I wanted to do this. I wanted to go like this. Oh.
I always have loved Corey, and it makes me love him even more every time somebody comments, you know, John, you really helped him out back in 2014 or whatever it was. I'm not anything at all responsible for Corey's growth. That's because he's a genius. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, no, I don't remember what I was going to say. That's terrible. See, I shouldn't have looked at the chat. I looked at the chat, and it messed me all up. But, oh, I know what I was going to say. People are going to say, how do I get the free products? Because they see my channel and they see we've got these lights and we've got this stuff and we've got these filters and stuff like that. How do we get that? Well, I'm going to tell you, and yes, it might be a little bit easier for me because my channel's a little bit larger. I do not call or email these companies and bug them to death. I do not. I wait for them to come to me. And when they do, it feels that much better because you're like, oh, they love me. You're like, what? Who's that? Who was that? Who cares? That actress that was like, you love me, you really do. Scott was imitating her. Who was that? Anyway, it makes you feel better about it. It's like this company actually likes what I'm doing. They want to support what I'm doing. They reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a product review. That is how you want to do it. So my advice to anyone that wants the free products, Sally Fields, thank you. Thank you, Gleek Junkie. Make good videos. I know that sounds arrogant. I know that sounds mean, and I know that's not what you want to hear. But make good videos that are clear and people can follow along with them, and that are positive and that are influencing the community and are valuable to the community. That is what's going to get you noticed by these companies. Because believe me when I tell you, there are people whose job it is to find the next person to send product to. If you think I'm kidding, just ask anybody. They're there. And that's their job. They're paid a full-time salary to figure out who the next person is that they should have represent their brand. They're there. And if you're making good content, they'll find you. Doesn't have to be certain numbers. Just make good stuff. And there you go. So I don't know what more to say about it. I'm exhausted after that one. Good grief. And I'm supposed to talk about heaters now? Good Lord. That's rough. You're sitting over there eating Starbursts. It's not fair.
You won't let me talk.
Jim Carrey was referencing her. Yes, that is true. We inspired Twin Reapers to make a cichlid tank. That's awesome. How is your electric bill? It's not free to run it all. No, it's not. But
Oh, I wish we could do a review on Dominion Electric.
have you seen a huge increase in the power bill since this went in, this fish room?
Do you want me to say how much the power bill was this last month?
Yes.
$585.
What was it? We got 8 people that live in this house. What was it last month?
It was in the lower 400s.
And you got to figure, too, it's summertime. Air conditioner's running full time all day long. Kids are home. Air conditioning all day. So, yeah, I mean, that's...
Fish room, bigger tanks, heaters,
I
filters,
wonder, I'd love to know the
AC
effect.
in the garage. massage, live streams.
No, these don't cost
Just
anything.
kidding.
I mean, so maybe $150 our bill went up. Maybe? Yeah? No?
The water bill, don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Anyway.
People are going to have to start taking showers every other day in this house.
Not me. Okay.
But the fish will have clean water. Don't worry. Dirty kids.
Yeah,
clean
we're going to
water.
have to figure something else out because that air conditioner blows right on the Discus tank, and that's a problem. Because the Discus need to be warm. It's not like that's a goldfish tank.
It's 84 degrees in their tank. It's 84.2 degrees. I check it daily.
Yeah, I know, because I put a 400-watt heater in there. On the topic of heaters,
Whoa, yeah.
let's get into that, shall we? So I am going to start, this off. This is something that I was thinking about yesterday. I do want to make videos of just, and I'm going to start it up. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that it's easy to edit.
Honestly, I wasn't even listening to you. I was looking at the chat and reading.
Okay.
What did
that
you
doesn't
say?
yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, ready? Be quiet.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about heaters. That's all I had to do. So the first thing I want to do is talk about why we heat an aquarium. And you need to chime in on this, lady. So,
I already know why we heat aquariums.
well, I know, but you need to share your experience with why we heat aquariums. So
Okay.
if you are new to fish keeping, the reason why we heat our aquariums is because the bulk of fish that we keep, and I'm mainly talking about freshwater here, they are tropical fish, whether we're talking about discus back there, or African cichlids, or arowanas, oscars, and what else? Gold severums that are from the Amazon. These are fish that are from a climate, none of them have ever been in that climate, but if they were in the wild, they would be in a climate that is, you know, the water is 80, 82 degrees, 78 to 82 at any given time. 82 on a hot day, 78 if it rains or whatever. But that's what these fish are used to. But there's more to it than that. Not only are they used to it, but also you have to think about if you were in a room that was 60 degrees, okay, now I'm a bigger guy and I like it cold. But 60 degrees, if it's 60 degrees in your living room and you're trying to sit there and watch TV, you know as well as I do, it would feel good at first, but then eventually you'd be like, ooh, this is a bit much. I need to put on a sweatshirt and some sweatpants.
Or snuggle.
And what was that word?
Snuggle.
Are you saying put on one of those Snuggies, or are you saying two people snuggle?
Two people snuggle, duh.
You'll have to teach me how to do that later. But also, if it's 60 degrees in your house at all times, what else is going to happen? Your immune system is going to drop. You're going to start moving slower. You're going to get in a bad mood. You're going to be cranky, and you're going to be more vulnerable to illnesses like the common cold, like the flu, like pneumonia. Didn't your mom always tell you when you were running outside to go play with your friends, if anybody even still does that anymore these days, she would say, put on a coat, you're going to catch pneumonia. That's what my mom used to always say to me. I never got pneumonia, but still, if you're exposed to temperatures like that for a long period of time, it's going to really start to ruin your life. I don't care who you are, 60 degrees will wear on you after a while. You add a little breeze to that outside, it makes it even worse. So think about fish the same way. If your fish are instinctively wanting to be in water that's around 80 degrees and you put them into a tank that's 70 degrees, everything that I just said it absolutely applies to your fish. Their immune system is going to drop. They're going to be cranky. Their colors are going to dim out. They're not going to feel good. So they're going to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or more lethargic and hide down in the corner. And their immune system is going to drop, making them susceptible to parasites, ick. Everything is copacetic when we keep our fish warm and toasty. And welcome Chris from Multi-Tank Addiction. We're going to get there. Don't worry, Chris. You've been sitting around for a while waiting. Believe me, we'll get there very, very soon. Why is this not charging? What's up with that? So anyway.
What am I, your secretary?
I don't know why my iPad isn't charging. So that's why we heat our aquariums. But how do we heat our aquariums? I got a question about this the other day, and most people with fish rooms are going to do it there really is only one of two ways. Either heating the entire room up to a little bit above whatever temperature you're shooting for. If you're trying to get your tanks to 80 degrees, people will heat the room up to 82, 84, and then your water will balance out usually at around 80 degrees. It's difficult to do that, and you know what? It's not very comfortable. If you can imagine, if this room was 82 degrees or 84 degrees, I mean, go see Discus Hans if you want to know what that's like, because that's what he does. And his gas bill in the wintertime will make you vomit. I mean, we're talking in the thousands of dollars. Anyway.
Wow.
But it's still more efficient to do it that way than to heat each individual tank. So if the way I look at it is, if you are someone who is wanting to run a business, if you have a hatchery, if you're breeding angels, you're breeding discus or live bearers or whatever it is that you're doing, and you have 100 aquariums that you are making profit off of, to me, the most efficient way of doing it would be to heat the entire room.
Well,
Or-
RJ Riz says he snuggles his aquariums.
That's hilarious.
That's
I see
a
what
good
you
way.
did there.
That's a good
fun.
way to keep them warm.
That's good. So heating the entire room is a very efficient way of doing it, but it's not very comfortable. I mean, for us out here, if it was 84 degrees, I would be a disaster.
We did it when we had the fish store. And
We weren't recording live streams in there, though, is what I'm saying.
it was so hot in that fish store.
And it wasn't pleasant. Like this room out here, this is not a working fish room. Now, I know that might sound weird, but to me, a working fish room would be a working fish room like Dean's Fish Room or Lucas Brett's. These guys that are breeding fish, they're selling fish, they're raising fry. That's a working fish room. They're not doing that just to go down there and sit in their recliner and stare at their fish, even though they do that too. But you understand what I'm saying. This is their business. This is what they do to put food on the table. I don't think Dean puts food on the table with this, but you understand what I'm saying. It's a job. So for them, they want to keep costs down to keep profits up. And so the most efficient way of doing it is to heat the entire room. But for us, we're in here. We come out here and we just shoot the you-know-what. We come out here and we talk about plans for videos, or we come out here to gripe about the kids, or whatever it is that we're doing. We come out here and we just hang out here. It would not be very comfortable to do that if it was 84 degrees in this room. So we heat all of our tanks individually, every single one of them. And it might not be the most efficient way of doing it as far as the power bill goes, but it's nice because we can have the tanks individual heats. Like this one is like 80. The Discus tank is 84. The Arowana tank is like 78. The planted tank, what is it in there? You don't even have a heater on there.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't have a thermometer on there, I mean.
Oh, I thought I did. Well, I have it set at like 78. I have it set at 78. Not officially, like, by looking at the thermometer, but I can tell it's not too cold or too warm, and so
Gotcha.
I can tell.
Well, the point is, having them individually heated, we can adjust it, and we can have one warmer than the other. Where if you're heating up the entire room, if you have a goldfish tank in there, it's not going to be all that nice for your goldfish because they like the water cooler. Danios like it cooler. You understand what I'm saying? So having the different heaters in all of the tanks, you can adjust it, unless you have one of those little nano tanks that has a heater that's just automatically set to 78 degrees or whatever it is. Also, if we have a heater malfunction, and it happens, I mean, Lord knows I have more broken heaters than I do ones that are operational. When a heater breaks, you're just replacing the heater in that one tank, not, the whole room, whatever you're using to heat the whole room. Now, we are going to heat this room in the wintertime, but we're going to heat it as if it was like the inside of our house. This is a garage, if you don't know it, if you can't see the garage door behind Marie's head there. This is a garage, and so it's not part of the house. It's not hooked up to the air conditioning system. We've got a window unit in here that doesn't provide heat, so we're going to use space heaters out here in the winter. just to take the chill off the air, get it, well, no, it's going to get it up to about probably 74 is what we're going to do it out here. And then we'll still have all of the heaters in the tanks. If we were dependent on space heaters in here and those space heaters fail, every tank would lose temperature. So that's the other difference there too. If you have them individually heated, then if one fails, it's just that one tank that's affected. So now there is another potential type of failure on heaters, and it's the worst kind. There's been several stories on YouTube, some really high profile and some not, of heaters malfunctioning and killing fish and almost burning houses down. I mean, it's...
That's so terrible. I can't even imagine.
It is a risk you take. I don't... The risk of that has to be higher than like your average thing catching on fire, like your router catching fire or something. I mean, your router can catch fire too, but probably not as likely as a heater.
We did have a heater malfunction, and that's how you lost your African cichlid tank that time. In the basement, remember?
No,
yeah.
that was a filter.
That was the filter?
Yeah.
That was so bad.
At least that's what we think it was.
Coming down, you didn't even have to go in the basement to smell that smell. It was horrible.
It was horrifying.
You
it
could,
was a nightmare. 3
levels up, you could smell it in the bedroom. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was rough. But no, that didn't have anything to do with a heater. It had everything, I think, to do with a filter. But anyway, so if you have a room that is your leisure room, we wanted to make this more of like a recreation room for us to come out here and just enjoy the fish. And so we want it to be pleasant in the room. We don't want it to be 90 degrees in here. I love Hans's facility, but if you go to his facility like we did the other day, it was actually a nice cool day that day.
Yeah, it was nice. It was breezy.
Yeah, it wasn't all that bad, but I've been at his shop, like I've been there in the middle of winter and I've been there in the middle of summer, and it's unbearable because he keeps it like 94 degrees in there to get, you got to figure, drafts coming through and the doors opening and closing and stuff. To keep the tanks up at 84 where he likes it, he has to room it like 94. And that's literally being in a sauna.
It's so hot.
And it's rough. So you're not going to go in there to just sit there and enjoy yourself. You're going to go in there and you're going to see all the fish and you're going to be like, yeah, these are awesome, but I got to get the hell out of here because I'm about to burn up. So, but it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. So now if we're going to talk about individually heating tanks, what is the easiest way to do it? Really, you only have 2 options, and that would be submersible heaters and inline heaters. I have never owned, never tried, never even have any experience whatsoever with inline heaters. And the reason why is because I've only heard bad things about them. I don't know. I'm old school. I've always used submersible heaters. They've always seemed to do the trick for me, and they've always worked well. Do I have a particular brand that I like over the others? No, I don't. I think we have probably every brand possible in this room right here. We have Cobalt, we have Fluval, we have Aquarium, and I don't know all of the other brands. We have almost every single brand. Where, Lisa Marie, where do you put the heaters? I'm going to make you talk on this. Where's the best place to put the heaters in an aquarium?
Right in the tank.
Just in the water, just anywhere. The Discus tank, I don't know if you can see it. Yep, you can see it.
I mean, not on the outside of the tank, of course. I mean, in the tank.
To the left, right where all the Discus are, right behind them right there, you see the heater standing straight up. That's a brand new one that we bought. I think it's an Aquarium.
What you're getting at is you want it on the opposite side of the filter intake so that you're not getting rid of all of the... Well, it's not. You're not getting rid of it all, but you're.
No, I'm about to tell you the exact opposite.
He's telling me the opposite.
Yeah, that heater was thrown in last minute because that water was not to the temperature that we wanted it. It was put in there like that night, and it is in the worst spot, in my opinion. Others might disagree, but that heater is in the worst spot. We just haven't moved it yet, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
You want the heater. You want the heater within the flow of the water.
Yeah.
That's sitting on the complete opposite side of the tank from the filters. You can see there's a Marineland Emperor on there and an FX4. There's a long story behind that, but that heater needs to be where the water is moving so that it gets dispersed throughout the
Right,
tank.
and it's not just in one part of the tank.
Right.
Well, I
Now,
mean, it's going to heat the entire tank one way or the other, but
I'm going to try to do this on camera. Oh, I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit. I don't know if I can or if I can't. No, I really can't. Okay. So listen. On both of these tanks right here, I have a sump. And one of the beautiful things about a sump is that you have a lot of water movement in that sump. And I have learned from experience that you can get away with smaller heaters, not micro heaters, but you would think if you go by that 5 watt per gallon rule, good Lord, what's the math on that? I mean, you'd be looking at like putting 5 heaters in this thing because you're going to be hard pressed to find a heater that's over 400 watts. What I've got in this tank defies the math. There's 2 400 watt heaters, two 300 watt heaters in this tank that heat it perfectly. That tank is 2 300 watt heaters that heat it up to 80 degrees, no problem at all. How? I put them, you can't even see it because it's right behind this post. I put them right inside the sump here. The water in this sump, and both of these sumps are the exact same way. The water comes down through here, through a filter sock, and then travels down into here. This is where we have all of the filter trays with all the biomedia and the sponges and stuff like that. Okay? So then the water fills up to here and it spills over into this other section that it's kind of a zigzag. You can't really see all that well. And that's where my heaters are. Why? Because the water is forced through that zigzag. It's forced through there. It's always moving through there. And it's pushing it past those 2 300 watt heaters. And it heats that tank up in no time at all. I've been doing it on that tank the same way ever since I had it. And it's never been a problem. The water has always stayed to temperature. And it's doing the same thing in that one now. And that tank is 120 gallons more than that one. 2 300 watt heaters are doing it perfectly. It might be 2 400 in that and 2 300 in that. I don't know, but who cares? 2 heaters that you would not think would heat a body of water that big is doing it perfectly. And it's because it is in the direct flow of that water. The water never stops moving across those heaters. So that's how I do it. But if you don't have a sump, you just have a 55 gallon tank and you want to know where the best placement is of your heater, you're going to want to put it where the water's moving. Don't put it in a place that's stagnant. You want the water circulating around that heater so that it disperses that heat throughout the tank. And as far as inline heaters go, I don't really have a whole lot to say about those because I don't use them. I've heard nightmare stories about them, but you're not going to hear any nightmare stories from me because I don't have experience with those. So I'm not going to talk bad about something that I've never used. But that's what I got. What else do you have? You want to talk about heaters a little bit? You got anything?
oh, I was answering a chat. I mean, as long as they work, that's good.
Yeah,
I don't have a certain one that I would recommend because
Don't go so technical because people might not understand. Try to keep this.
look, if you plug it in and it works and your little thermometer says it's exactly what you set it at, that's a good heater, right?
Well, yeah, you would think.
I'm not somebody that, honestly, I just don't have a certain brand to recommend because I haven't had a problem with any of them. So keep an eye on them. Whatever heater you get, keep an eye on it. Make sure it's working properly. And if it's not, get rid of it. And do whatever John just said.
I mean,
I was answering a chat.
we're going to have, people are going to attach themselves to brands, and these are brands that they believe in. I'm a Fluval guy. I love Fluval. Fluval's never sent me a heater, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying but I love
gosh.
how
You
dare
have
they.
not got a heater from Fluval to do a review on?
Well, how do you review a heater?
Loser.
I put the heater in the tank and the water's warm now. That's my review. I've never really known. I've never seen a heater review. Maybe there are them out there, but I don't know. But whatever brand, I guess there are people that could argue some brands will last longer than others. The Fluvals have some of the Fluvals have like a little cage around them. I don't own any of those, which is nice, especially if you've got bruisers like Oscars. I've had Oscars break heaters before, and that's terrifying because you're exposing all that electricity in
Then
there.
stick it in your sump.
Well, I'm not going to have that problem in here. I'm talking about other tanks. I've had Oscars for 25 years.
I'm just saying, if somebody has a sump, to avoid that, stick the heater in the sump.
Well, yeah, if you have
You
a
don't
sump,
need a
you should have
cage.
your heater in the sump anyway.
That's just a fancy reason to sell a product to make more money on.
Are you just trying to be argumentative? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, but it works.
We have a sleeping cat sleeping right next to my keyboard right now. It's actually kind of hilarious. But let's see what JH said, because he's a superstar. We gotta make sure we pay attention to him. And I meant that in a very supportive and positive way, Joseph Harden. I hope I didn't sound like I was being sarcastic there. I like to put another digital thermostat in between the heater and the wall to protect the tank. Yeah, I mean, especially the glass ones that can shatter and all of that. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And I also do like to advise people, and I'm going to be honest, we've had to put so many heaters out here. We haven't done this yet, but it is in the plans. I like to advise people to put 2 heaters in their tank, even if they don't need it. One as a backup. It's very simple to do. If you want the temperature in your tank to be 78, you put 2 heaters in there that are both adequate size to support that entire tank. You set one to 82 and you set the other one to 81.
That's a great idea, especially in the wintertime and if you're leaving for vacation or something.
Right.
Yes.
That's the whole point. If the main one fails, the other one kicks on, and if you see the little red light on the other one, then you know, the first one may have failed, and you don't have to run out to PetSmart in the middle of the night to pick up a heater. So I got to take my sleeping pills. Otherwise, I'm going to keep Lisa up all night long, and she's not going to like that. But you know what?
You're not, because I'll sleep through anything.
Kids don't have to go to school tomorrow, so.
You're
So
not keeping me up all night.
I do like to have the security of having 2 heaters in there, again, just in case one fails. And believe me, I don't care what the brand is. I don't care who your allegiance is to. It sounds cliche, but with every heater, it's not if, it's when they're going to break. They break, they just do.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. If you don't want to do the thing with putting 2 in there at the same time, at least have one on standby. We've got multiple on standby. If one of them failed in here, the one we would panic over the most, obviously, would be the Discus, because they're the ones that are so sensitive to the heat, where, like, if this tank dropped by 10 degrees, these fish would not be very happy, but they also wouldn't die. I mean, Discus would just go absolutely bananas. So.
Yeah.
Digital thermometers are essential. I love the digital thermometers. We've got several of those. For a while there, every time we went to Petco, I was picking one up because they're like $10 and it's like, I have them all over the place. We still don't have one for all 4 of these yet. I think we've got 2, but anyway, that's what we want to end up doing. I'm scared my heater isn't broken because it's hot. Oh, he's asking you. That has to do with whatever the conversation was that you were having with Twin Reapers. I'm more worried about making fish soup. I'm glad that I don't need them. Yeah, that is, I've heard that story many, many times too. Yeah, you're down there in that tropical climate, so you got it made, except for the other day when there was the hurricane situation. But
Wasn't that yesterday?
I guess so. My days are so mixed up. But yeah, under normal circumstances, you've got it made down there with the temperature. But you're freaking me out. Got to go get some more heaters tomorrow. Now I'm new to cichlids. Thanks for the advice. Heaters, I understand there are a lot of fish keepers out there that don't use heaters. And I'm not going to sit here and argue with those people. I'm someone that I have always used heaters. I always have. I understand if you look at that tank behind Marie, those Kessel lights up there are mammoths, and there's 3 of them on there. I understand that those lights are delivering heat into that tank. The filter is giving heat to that tank. I get it, but I like the added security of having the heater in there too. And you can't see it because of the way the camera is right now, but the heater for Marie's tank is sitting right next to the intake of the FX6 that's on that tank. The way I look at it is if the Kessels, which Kessels, those don't heat up because they have internal fans in them, but the light that's coming off of them is definitely giving heat. And then the filter and all of that, if that's providing heat to the tank, that just means the heater's going to have to work less hard. It's not going to have to work as hard to heat the water up. That's the way I look at it. Okay, we got to get past this because it's 10:41 and we've got some people that we have to talk about here today. I've got mine. I've been talking nonstop. You are doing your video shout outs first.
Oh, my video shout out. Yeah, okay. Okay. So
And she cheated on this one. She took an easy one.
what? You stop it. No. I'm shouting out this video because it actually reminds me of something that I had to go through before, except probably times 200. Yeah. So anyways, I'm shouting out Bob's video on how to clean an aquarium, a used old aquarium that's been sitting in a garage. Anyways, Steamfot, if you don't know who Bob is, that's who I'm talking about. He did a video on how to clean an aquarium. And another thing I liked about the video is that this tank was for a classroom. So I thought that was really sweet. But back when we were getting ready to open the fish store, we went and bought a whole bunch of used aquariums in Tennessee. And they were all old. They'd been sitting in a shop for like 5 years. So you can only imagine all the calcium built up. So I had to clean them. That was my job. John was building racks and, doing stuff, setting up.
Could barely walk.
Setting up the store. And I had to clean hundreds of calcium-filled old aquariums. And it was cold. It was in like November. So in Virginia, November is pretty cold. And I used a lot of vinegar. My hands were so sore. And I didn't do it all in one day. I did it over a period of time. So anyways, that's why I chose his video, because it just reminded me of the good old days. So there you go. That's my video.
The good old days.
That I recommend.
I remember those days being very rough.
They were. Jeez.
All right, so I've got 2 shout outs that I have to do today. And one of them, actually they both know it's coming, and they both deserve it. Sorry, Rena.
And I'm not done.
Okay, I'll talk later.
Well, I want to make sure everybody checks out King and Queen's video that they did today. It was a lot of fun, and I really liked their video too. So I thought I'd go ahead and give them a shout out as well. That was a lot of fun. I loved watching that video along with Rax, and check out those videos.
I said that earlier. I talked about that video earlier. It was good.
I wanted to say it again.
Okay. The 2 guys that know they're getting shout outs right now are like so upset right now because they're like, Lisa, geez.
She's talking forever.
The first is Kaler's Aquatics. He knows this is coming because last week I promised I was going to do this, and I have to be completely transparent. I have not had a chance to check out this channel, but you know what? A lot of people have said he's a good dude. You should definitely do it. I have been to the channel very briefly. I had to make sure it wasn't like a serial killer or a pedophile or something like that, which of course we know that's not true. But I am not 100% familiar with the channel, but it comes very much suggested by a lot of people. The reason why I am shouting out that is because he is a huge supporter of this channel, and I disrespected him last week by missing a $25 super chat, which is obvious look over this weekend. And I'll give you a better report on that next week. I promise I will do that. But that was very, very cool to show that kind of support, and I really, really appreciate it. Skimming through the channel the way I did, it looks like there is a ton of really good content in there. So go and check that channel out for sure. And then the next one is multi-tank addiction. Again, Chris knew that this was coming. You know, a lot of things get said on YouTube. People say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then you're like, all right, I'll believe it when I see it, especially when it's somebody that you don't know. But, and I'm going to be honest, if this had never happened, I would still be shouting this channel out because I think what he does is really, really cool. He is someone that is an artist, and he's a very talented artist. I've known this for a long time. And he live streams him doing his drawings, which is awesome. That's the kind of thing I like having on in the background when I'm doing my work. It's just fun. It's awesome. I have always wanted to be an artist, and I'm just not a very good one. So when I see somebody like him and Priscilla and Sam Scales and all of these people that are so talented, I love watching that. All of their art is going to be out here very soon. But he messaged last week and said, John, I got to do a drawing for you. What do you want it to be? Of course I said I want silver arowanas. Duh. And he started it this week. Candy messaged me frantic. What was it? Tuesday night, I think it was. John, Chris is doing your drawing right now. I went over there to look at it, and I was watching him do this drawing, a beautiful drawing of a silver arowana for me. I'm so excited about it. It's not done yet. At least I don't think it's done yet. Very, very excited to see that finished product. And when it's here, it's going to go back here. Because I think like Sam Scales' pictures are going to go back here, Priscilla's.
Candy, he's a little dramatic. It's okay.
And I will probably, I don't think I was frantic. I like to add some flavor to it, Candy. I'll probably put the silver play button there, and maybe like Sam Scales here, and then Priscilla and Chris. Put them all back here, and then your side will have, because he also said he was going to do a Discus one. Ooh. And then you've got Jimmy's Discus picture, you've got Kenzie's Discus picture, so you're going to have plenty of art on your side too. And then we got to figure out where we're going to put Murph, because we got that picture of Murph too. Got to put that somewhere. But I'm keeping my ducks in the office. The ducks aren't coming out here. I got a lot of duck pictures because I love ducks. I'm like Tony Soprano. I love going and feeding the ducks. And so people buy me pictures of ducks now, and It's a beautiful thing. So that's it. Multi-tank addiction. Check out his channel. It's very, very cool, especially if you're interested in art. But he's also got some really good fish keeping videos on there. And I'm sorry to Kaler's Aquatics. I'm more familiar with Chris's channel than I am yours, but I will become much more familiar with your channel. So while I am checking out Kaler's Aquatics, you do the same thing. Go over there, check them out. All of these channels have their own way of doing things, and it's all very cool. I think we should all support each other. We should all, help each other any way we can. If you see a channel that's not doing good videos, tell them what it is that they could do to make their videos better. That's the way I like to do it.
Nicely, though.
Be nice about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Moist AF. I wonder if the AF stands for what I think it stands for.
I think we've been through this before.
I think we have. It says, I miss the bobbleheads. They are glorious, and the collection is up to, I think, 44 now. And I was so happy because I had all of the bobbleheads from this year, from this season, and I actually went to the stadium and got all of them. And then I found out last night they're going to do another one this year.
And we can't go to that one.
And we can't go because we are going to be in Baltimore seeing Dane Cook that night. So I offered to buy David and I day tickets as long as I can have one of the bobbleheads. So I'm still getting it, but yeah, I'm a sucker for the bobbleheads. I absolutely love them. Stopped somewhere today with one goal in mind, which was to get her a gift. And if they had bobbleheads in there, I was going to get one too, but they didn't. But
He got me a clown cookie jar. It was so cute. And you can tell it's antique. It's not like, a cookie jar of a clown that was just made. It's so unique. I love it. It's adorable.
Go Brewers. I was at that game. We were at that game. Well, that wasn't last weekend, the weekend before last, that went 14 innings. We were there.
Oh,
we were there till the end, too. And
so tiring.
it was.
I got tired of watching baseball.
I've said this. If the Nats had won that game, it would have been the best baseball game I've ever been to in my life. But because they lost, it was just a good game. It was a really good game. That's what I will say about that. But once I got to talking about bobbleheads, the numbers went, we lost like 100 viewers.
That's okay.
Thanks a lot, Moist AF. You made everybody leave.
The important people are still here. I guess I shouldn't have said that because then it sounds like people that left,
Yeah, they're
that
not
were
important.
tired, they're not important. I get it. That was rude. But you guys are pretty daggone cool.
What free items do you get from your subscribers? We've gotten some gifts. It's been cool. We got the cat grass stuff, which we haven't done anything yet because we didn't know about it. We didn't know what to do with it, but she's going to figure that out.
I can't wait to grow it because I think it'll be interesting.
And
I like plants anyways.
And then we got the Deadpool. I got the Deadpool figure
Yes.
from Allie Patton, which I adore.
I got a cute postcard.
We've gotten
I
postcards.
love that.
And then we got a $200 gift card today from somebody that we're not allowed to talk about, which is a total shock. But I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet. So we'll have to see how that goes. How about Dwayne Haskins? Didn't get to see him play tonight. I got to see him make one nice touchdown pass, and then I had to come talk to you people. So I wasn't able to watch the game. I don't even know how it ended. And you know what? I don't really care because it's preseason and who cares? John or Lisa, what's the best thing to feed sucking loach? We're not loach people. So this is why you proofread questions before you answer them, because then you look like an idiot.
We've had loaches, but they've just ate regular food. You know what I mean? We haven't had problems just feeding them regular food with whatever fish we had in the tank with them. So, I mean, we didn't kill any, but I'm not saying that's the right way to do it. If
We
you
had
want to
yo-yo
know,
loaches.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad. This must have happened when I left, when you were doing your shout out. Rob Darling put in a super chat that said, idiot question. There is such thing as idiot questions. You know those people that say there's no such thing as a stupid question? Those are stupid people. There is plenty of stupid questions, but this one isn't one of them. Is an adjustable heater completely submersible? Watched tons of FishTube community videos and haven't seen an answer. Thank you in advance. I think that's what TIA stands for. That's not an idiot question, not at all. Yes, they are fully submersible. I believe you're fine if you leave the dial part out of the water, but it's not necessary. Everything in there is all sealed off. It has to be. And so you're totally fine putting that thing all the way down into the water. In my sump, both of the heaters that are in there are fully submerged. If I want to adjust them, I have to literally reach down in there, pull them all the way out, make the adjustment, and then put them back down in there. And it's completely fine. So that's your answer to that. And I'm sorry that I missed that. It must have been when I stepped away. Thank you so much for the super chat. Those are always very much appreciated. There's been a lot of them today. And did I even mention that? I did mention that Multi-Tank Addiction became a member, and he's doing drawings for us, and he gave us super chats. The guy's spoiling us. We've never even met him. Chris, are you still here? Are you gonna be at the aquatic experience? Because that would be really, really cool. That'd be the place to bring the drawing. It's only like 2 months away.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Huh.
What did you size about concerning item? So anyway. Common Levi? What's a Levi? I think you might have had some spell check go on there, Twin Reapers. Plecos. How did spell check change Plecos to Levi? That's weird. Now, there's a lot of people that argue with me on this. I believe common Plecos are slow growers. I don't think they're these lightning fast growers that a lot of people talk about. Kilted Python became a member, but you were already a member. What's up with that? Jerry Waterman came in with the $2. Thank you so much. And Chris threw some more at us. I just got a new job, so no. Oh, he's in Portland. Yeah, that's a long trip for you.
Oh, yeah.
But common Plecos, here's the thing. Most people don't feed their common Plecos. Now, full transparency, I don't feed this guy that's in here. Can you even see him? I can't see my screen. I don't know if you can see him. He's right there. Yeah, of course you can see him. I don't feed him, and the reason why I don't is because when I drop food in here, it sinks down, and I watch him go and get some. So he's eating good.
But a nice treat for Plecos is green peppers. I learned that from Jeffers Fish Keeping.
Yep.
And it works. It really does. I've watched them eat green peppers. It's fun.
I wonder how many people are saying, did she just say Pleco?
I said Pleco.
I know. That fish has put on an inch since we put him out here. He used to be in my 75 gallon. I knew all along I was going to move him out here. So he's been out here for probably 2 months, and he's gotten substantially larger. So they grow quickly, but they're not like these arowanas. As much as I'm going to baby them, they're going to grow about an inch per month, which means 1 year from now, the big one's going to be about 20 inches long. I mean, that's quick growth. You blink your eyes.
They can grow so big.
It's unbelievable.
When we had the fish store, people would bring in large Plecos all the time, and we would be like, okay, we'll go ahead and stick them in this great big aquarium we have.
Then people would take them.
And they would buy them.
Yeah.
Like, they needed them.
I don't know, did we ever sell them?
Yeah.
Like the big ones? Did we sell them to people, or did we just give them to people?
No, we sold them. Same with comets. People would put them in like a pond or whatever, and we had that one guy. He had a huge pond, and he wanted to take it down.
He would buy like 1,000 a year.
Yeah, but I thought he was getting rid of it or something. But he brought in these comets. They were like that big, and they had these long tails. I mean, tails, fins.
And I remember we did sell those, we sold them fast because people with ponds would come in and they would see these 12-inch common Plecos, and they'd be like,
we want those.
We want those for our pond, because otherwise we're buying little teeny ones. So that was absolutely perfect. Let's see, please. Plecos don't grow fast, but Plecos can grow fast.
They
That's
do.
right.
Plecos grow fast.
Not the Plecos, only the Pleco variety. Those are the ones that grow really fast. Blanched cucumber, broccoli, watermelon, peas, and carrots. Loach food. Look at that.
That's a good idea.
Kaylor said, you know what? I want to make sure they mention me again next week.
Aww.
I'm not going to miss this one. You were hoping. You had your fingers crossed. You were like, he's going to miss this one again, and he's going to talk about me again next week. Thank you so much for that. It comes in with the big numbers all the time. $20. Excellent and informative discussion content. Again, my second live stream. Very happy I became a member. Thanks, John and Lisa. I am so excited that you became a member too, and you've become a big part of this stream, and it's awesome. Absolutely love that. And I know I didn't do your channel justice earlier, but hopefully I can make that up to you. Please, can you come to Ohio? I'd love to go to Ohio. I would love to do that. I've got two friends.
That far.
I've got 3 friends in Ohio. I've got Than Thane, who runs Tidal Gardens, Rob Lupton, and Steve Poland. And they're all in Ohio. So that would be perfect.
Carla Killian, I was trying to answer your question because I was going back and forth, just trying to read. I saw like a lot of other discussions you were having with...
yeah, and Jimmy, I forgot.
Anyway, so I couldn't find your question. Anyway, so I have a 55 with 24 give or take African cichlids. They seem to take all the food. I don't know if the 2 common Plecos are getting enough food. Like I was just saying, when John had his African cichlids in the 75 gallon, I gave the Plecos some green peppers. I just took a green pepper and cut it in half, took out like the seeds and stuff, and I just stuck 2 halves in there, and it went crazy just eating that green pepper. And the cichlids didn't even bother it. So give a green pepper a try. I learned that from Jeffers Fish Keeping. He has a video about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give that a try, and it works. Plecos like green peppers.
More than one person has said if you go to Ohio, you got to go to the Ohio Fish Rescue. Yeah.
Yeah, we would definitely get there.
Definitely would. If they would have us. I'm assuming they would because everybody's been there. There was another thing here that somebody said, William Winters said, are we going to see a video up all your fish and tanks up close? That would be nice. The answer to that question is yes, and it's going to be up Wednesday because we got 10 things coming back on Sunday. Wait a minute. No, it's not going to be up this Wednesday. It's going to be next Wednesday. We got 10 things coming back this Sunday, and then we're going to upload Sundays and Wednesdays, and maybe another day if she starts making videos. But Wednesday is going to be my video on those Kessel lights that you see behind Marie. It's her tank, but I'm going to do the video on the lights. And then the following week is going to be a tour of what we have so far, including the tanks in the house. We've got a beta sorority in there.
You're going to do your tanks, right? So it's going to be a short video because it's just going to be these 2 tanks.
No, I'm going to do them all. Every single one, including the ones in the house. We've got a beta sorority and we've got King Lee's guppies in there. So, ma'am, I'm going to need you to make sure those tanks are all very presentable in there.
They're always presentable.
I know they are. So
I keep my tanks clean.
Yeah, that's coming out. That's going to be in 2 Wednesdays from now. So there you go. And as far as going to Ohio, we've been talking to Rob for a couple of years now about going up there and seeing his facility. And daggone it, that facility just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We've got to get up there. Him and Amanda are just amazing people, and we would love to get up there and see them and maybe bring some shrimp home. That'd be a lot of fun. So, yeah, and if you're going to be in Ohio, you got to go see. Steve Poland probably wouldn't answer the phone because I don't know where he's been, but Thane, I would love to go and see his facility that he's got, and then and the Ohio Fish Rescue, no brainer. I mean, I'd love to go there. I am definitely, I've always been a monster fish person. I've never really talked about it on this channel because we started out as an African cichlid channel, and then we became kind of a discus channel, and then it moved on to this and moved on to that. But I've always been a monster fish guy, so that place is right up my alley. I would absolutely love that. So, geez, we're just never going to get up. Now, Chris, you just got a job, my friend. You can't be throwing money around like this. That's crazy. I wanted to super chat you Tuesday, but I guess you don't have them enabled yet. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not monetized yet. We got to make that happen for you. But I was going to do the same thing with you. But West Side Story, get it?
I like that.
You both make my love that I am a part of the Fish Keeper community. Keep up the great work. Thank you. And we are proud to be in that community with you. And then Chris had to beat Bob. So he came in with the $20.01. Had to beat Bob. And also, do you plan on getting any Giardini in maybe a different tank? Thanks for the shout out. It is much appreciated. No, I don't plan on getting a Giardini, and it's not because I don't like them. It's just I'm a silver arowana guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Giardinis are cool, but to me, I don't know. I've always been a silver arowana guy. If I could get the Asians, I would get them. The interesting thing we saw on Sunday, and then we got to cut this thing off.
Oh my gosh.
On Saturday, I mean, House of Tropicals. I don't know why they did this. They had their Giardini arowanas. They had them listed as Giardini, quote unquote, Asian arowanas.
Yeah. So when I called to see if they had arowanas, she said, it looks like we have one Giardini, and yeah, we have an Asian arowana. I was like, oh, really?
She told me that. I was like, oh my God. I was like getting ready to go on the internet to see if they lifted the embargo or whatever it is. But no, it's not an embargo. What's it called? I don't know. But no, that's hasn't happened. They are not Asian. As a matter of fact, I thought somebody said they were from. This is getting ridiculous. I thought somebody said they were from Australia. They're not. No, I don't know. Who cares? But this is going to be fun. Let's just sit here and watch Multi-Tank
like an
Addiction and Chris.
auction.
Let's just watch them fight it out here. We'll stay on as long. No, y'all need to stop doing that. I don't know what y'all's financial situation is, but that's getting crazy. It's fun to watch, but we are not worthy of all this money. That's just
you.
nuts. But that is extremely generous and very fun to watch. It's very cool. So before, he did say Australian. Okay, yeah, I thought they were Australian. I'm gonna confess to something here, though. I almost bought a black Giardini. Do you remember me telling you about that? I was on my way home from Virginia Beach. This was like
No.
6 years ago.
I don't remember that.
I stopped at a pet store. I don't even know which one it was. It's a mom and pop store, and they had an 8-inch long black Giardini. Black Giardini.
Is that when we had KG Tropicals? Because that would have been like
I don't know.
weird.
But I remember seeing that fish, and I was like, I've never seen that before. I must have it. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to find somewhere to put it. But I didn't pull the trigger, and I'm going to tell you why. I walked up to the tank, and I was mesmerized looking at this fish, and it was slaughtering everything else that was in the tank with it.
Gotcha.
It was in there with like a big red-tailed cat, and it kept going and hitting the red-tailed cat and stuff. I was like, I don't want nothing to do with that jerk. He might look cool, but I ain't trying to get with that. So anyway, this has been a lot of fun, folks. I don't even know where I'm at right now. I'm exhausted, but this was a good time. I hope you all understand that my talk about YouTube, it was meant to be very positive about people doing product reviews. I think they're an important thing for this hobby. I think they're an important thing for the YouTube community, and I think it's something that helps us all grow. So if I came across as negative in that at all, I absolutely didn't mean to, and I certainly didn't mean to come across as if I was saying anything derogatory about Corey, because I absolutely was not. We just disagree on that one particular aspect of this. And you know what? I'm still his friend, and nothing's going to change about that. So that is what it is. Corey and I are friends. I would not speak ill of him, no way. And I'm 100% confident he feels the same way about me. So,
Mr. Bill, my son is going to Virginia Beach this weekend as well. So have fun.
if you hear a lot of people screaming and you hear a lot of sirens, you know he's probably close.
Oh, don't say that.
No, he's a good guy. So anyway, this was a lot of fun. I thank you all so much for hanging out with us. And Marie, I am going to let you take us out.
Oh, yay. Well, since I'm put on the spot to close this, I just want to say thank you for watching. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed tonight's live stream, and I had fun chatting with you all in the chat. If I missed a question, I apologize, because I know I miss a lot of them, but I try. But hey, I had fun, and I hope you did too. Have a wonderful weekend. I know for us it's a 4-day weekend. Woo-hoo. So hope everyone has a safe and happy, fun weekend. Talk to you later.